Good morning, students. Today we have to start with the topic formal and informal organization. So let us see what is formal and informal organization. Formal organization refers to the structure of jobs and position with clearly defined functions relationship as prescribed by the top management. The formal organization is an organization where jobs positions are clearly defined by the top management. The top management decides the job of various people in the organization. You can see this pic here. This is a formal organization where you have the president, the vice president in marketing, vice president in finance, and vice president in the manufacturing sector. So every position is decided, pre-decided. The jobs, positions, relationship between the various people, the CEO, the president, the vice president, what relationship they will be having is all pre-decided. So now let us see one more definition here. It can also be defined as system of well-defined jobs with a prescribed pattern of communication, coordination and delegation of authority. So according to Louis Ehlins, formal organization is a system of well-defined jobs, each bearing authority, responsibility and accountability. So this is what is a formal organization, which is pre-decided jobs and prescribed pattern of communication that has to go in the organization. Now in formal organization, everybody is assigned a certain responsibility for the performance of the given task and given the required amount of authority for performing the task. So this is what is formal organization. What is informal organization? Informal organization is an organization which is within a formal organization and it is formed by social relationship. It is the outcome of some liking in each other. So it can be because of any common factor, like one belongs to a particular region, likes of same people, caste, culture. All these liking leads to a social relationship which is within the formal organization. So it comes into existence when people meet, interact, communicate with each other. There is nothing planned for this. This happens when you get a like-minded person. It arises naturally on the basis of friendship or some common interest which may or may not be related with work. So this is what is a informal organization, which is formed naturally. It comes as a friendship due to common interest. Generally, large formal groups give rise to small informal or social groups. These groups may be based on taste, language, culture, or some other factor. Now, in a company, people are from various parts of the country, and if they find similar people with similar language, they come close to each other and make a social group. So, this is what is informal organization. So let us see what are the features of formal organization. Formal, which is made by the top management, created by the top management. It emphasizes on work. It coordinates and integrates the effort of various departments. It specifies relationship among various job positions. It clarifies who has to report to whom. In a formal organization, specific relationship is being defined. Who will be the boss, who will be the subordinate, who will report to whom, which department people will report to which head. So all these things are specific and defined. It is a means to achieve the objectives which has been pre-planned, specified in the plans as it lays down rules, procedures essential for their achievement. So these are the features of a formal organization. Formal means official. So you can just have a look at all the features here. So this is the features here. Now next we will go into the advantages of a formal organization. It is easier to fix responsibility as mutual relationships are clearly defined. In a formal organization, we know who is responsible for what kind of a job. So it is very easy to find out if there is any folly with any kind of job happening in the company. So it is easy to fix responsibility, and because everything is very clearly defined, mutual relationships are very clearly defined, roles, duties of members are clear, so there is no confusion, avoids duplication of effort because everybody knows their work, so no duplication of effort is there. No job is being repeatedly done by others. Okay, so there is no duplication of effort. Next is there is unity of command. Unity of command you have done in the principles of management. So here also advantage of formal organization is unity of command. That is, how many people in the department shall report to one particular head. A number of people with common skills will be reporting to one particular head. There is unity of command as the organization uses official channels of command and communication. It helps achieve objectives by providing framework for operations, that is work, to be performed and clarity of roles in the minds of the employees. So formal organization is specially made for achieving objectives, and the objective is also achieved because a good structure is being framed and telling clarity of the jobs to be done and people who will be doing the jobs. And the last one, well defined structure and policies, procedures, rules provide stability to the organization. An organization which is having formal organization, where policies are well defined, where procedures are well defined, rules are well defined, how to do the job, everything is very well defined. So it provides stability to the organization. The organization will run for a long period of time and keep on growing. So this is the advantage of formal organization. Let us do the disadvantage of a formal organization. There are three. The formal organization may lead to delay in decision making, since it follows a chain of command, chain of communication. So it's delay in decision making. An emergency situation cannot be handled well in a formal organization because there is a chain of command, just like the scalar chain. You remember that there has to be a chain of command that has to be followed, and a junior cannot approach absolutely the CEO. So he has to go through a number of steps, number of people in the organization, and they will communicate to the other higher authority, then to the higher authority. So it is a chain of communication that has to be followed. So this will lead to delay in decision. Quick decision cannot happen. Instant decision cannot be taken in a formal organization. It kills the spirit of initiative and creativity amongst the members of the organization. Since all the policies, programs are pre-planned, so there should be no deviation in the plans. So that is why whatever is planned is being done by the employees, and this gives a setback to their creativity and initiative. So they are just doing things like puppets. Whatever is told they are supposed to do because everything has been pre-planned. So it ignores the importance of interpersonal relationship. Now interpersonal relationships means relationship problems. Since we are human beings, there can be so many relationship problems arising. However, all these factors are ignored in a formal organization. The formal organization is specifically wanting work. So as it pays more emphasis on the structure and work. So whether you are ill, then also you have to work for the organization. So this interpersonal relationship has been ignored in a formal organization. So here we now wind up with the formal organization. Now we go to the features of informal organization. Now informal organization, as you remember, is an organization which is formed out of your own interest. You join a group out of your own interest. So let us see what is a formal organization. It emerges on its own within a formal organization as a result of social interaction. Within a formal organization like a company is a formal organization where everything is well defined, jobs are well defined. So within that, when people of the same culture, creed, caste or language or likings, they meet each other, they interact and they become friends. And so in a company that is a formal organization, there is an informal organization. So they become very good friends and social interaction increases. So here the first one emerges out in a formal organization as a result of social interaction. Second is behavior evolves from group norms rather than officially laid norms. Whatever behavior is in an informal organization is decided by the group norms. What kind of a group you are into will decide the behavior of the people in that particular informal organization. Then there is ignorance, or the people ignore the officially laid down rules. Third is independent channels of communication without specified direction or flow of information. In a informal organization, like you are having a number of friends, so there is no channel of communication. You can talk to anyone. There is no direction or flow of information, and there are no rules to be followed. So independent channels of communication, anyone can interact with anyone. So this is one feature of informal organization. It emerges spontaneously. You like a person, so you join that group, and not deliberately created by management. It has no definite structure. It is complex network of social relationship. So it doesn't have any structure like a formal organization, that so many managers deciding the number of managers, the subordinate, the superior. So it has no definite structure. Anyone can be in the group who are liking to be in the group or has a common interest to join the group. So this is what is informal organization. Next is we are talking about advantages of informal organization. Faster spread of information. Like your friends group, if you spread one information, it goes very fast. We usually use this kind of thing when we have to spread some information as class teachers. So likewise in a company, informal organization, in the informal organization, one information can be spread very quickly. So it is very quick spread of information, helps to fulfill social needs of members. People come to the organization and they want to be belonging to that organization. So they want a sense of belongingness, and when they get the sense of belongingness, this enhances their job satisfaction. When you go to a place where people are liking you, you are liking them, and you are interacting with them on social grounds, so you like to go to that job place. So that is sense of belongingness helps people to get job satisfaction. The third one helps achieve organizational objectives. So it provides employees feedback about work experience as they discuss their views with superiors without hesitation. So here, even the superiors, if they are interacting in informal organization, they can talk about everything and the subordinates need not hesitate to talk about any policies, any plans of the company to the superior. So this way, even the superior is getting a feedback about the plans and policy that has been implemented in the company. So this helps in achieving organizational goal. So informal organization is used by managers at times to get information from the employees in the organization. So this also helps the organization. Next is disadvantages of informal organization. There is resistance to change as it affects the cultures and relationships among members. This leads to delay or restrictive growth. When there are changes in the organization, this particular informal organization which forms a group, they resist to change. They don't want to change. If they are told to change, they do not want to change because they become comfortable with the people around them. So this breaking them or giving them, changing them is very difficult. So this leads to delay in the growth of these people, and restrictive growth happens. There is spread of rumors which not only spoils the team spirit and also morale. This adversely affects the smooth functioning of the organization. Now an example I am giving, there can be a rumor that the company will close in 1 month. So what will happen? This spread of rumor quickly happens in a informal organization. So people in the company will be scared, and maybe some will also start searching for another job. So this kind of rumors will break the team spirit and morals and adversely affects the smooth functioning of an organization. Third is, in case of informal organization, people are under pressure to observe group norms. If the group says that you should go for a strike, so one person cannot retaliate and say no, I will not go for it. So there is pressure of the group. So even if such norms are against the interest of the formal organization, individuals accept this kind of a group pressure. So this hampers the growth of the organization. So this is the disadvantage of a informal organization. Informal organizations cannot be eliminated because of its disadvantage. Instead of confronting it, managers should skillfully take advantage of both formal and informal organization. So sometimes the managers usually they are doing the formal in the formal organization, but sometimes to get out some news, some that is policy, that is feedback from the people or the employees, informal organizations should be used. So this is it, children. I hope you have understood this. Okay, so go through your books as well. Okay, thank you to all of you. Have a nice day.